Test, test, test. So be careful, that could be a little bit loud. I try. Okay. So, but we will start here. At the same time, we can have the Bitcoin chart behind to see what's going to happen. I think we know what's going to happen. It doesn't look like they want, at least today until tomorrow, just to push up very hard. Instead, they want to maintain very close to 20,000. Even I think we will go down a little bit more, retest at least that area here between 19.6 and 19.5. So first of all, hello folks and welcome to my Q&A. 7 people watching my stream. I like that. So we have enough space to interact together. It's better than with 700 persons. First of all, just to introduce my, to make a little introduce to my Q&A today. Many of you just noticed, or I have mentioned that even in my daily analysis, that I have vacation now. And so I will spend more time related to crypto. I will bring some new things, maybe a little bit of, changing a little bit Inspos logo, bringing more structure and everything, and also working on Phoenicia. That's the follow project between or with Inspo and George Beckwitz. So a lot of things is going to happen in the next few weeks, and I look forward for that. Hey Inspo, happy Saturday. Appreciate your stream. Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you very much, mate. Wow, let me see. We have, wow, Musmil Hussein was very, he plays the mass questions here. Of course, I will take a look to Discord as well, and to check if someone plays some questions there. But I would say let us start directly with the first questions here. So, Musmail, hi sir, how are you? I mean, thank you very much for calling me sir. As a German, that's incredible. It sounds very, every time when someone is telling me, hey sir, that sounds so strange for me. I like that, by the way, but it sounds very strange. I'm doing fine, bro. I'm really doing very fine. So thank you very much. I hope you are doing well as well and you will enjoy your weekend. Let us start. So what do you think will BTC dump lower and make new all-time low? Well, all-time low, it's not possible because all-time low would be less than 0. Is that possible? I don't think so. But I know what you mean. In my opinion, as mentioned in several situations in my respected no Muswell, everything is fine, bro. I think that a range between 10 and 12k could be it, and I don't think it's going to happen this year, to be honest. I think 2022 is going to be and to look like a child birthday compared to 2023 and most of all 2024. I think that challenges are coming, are still in front of us, and as mentioned, I think I mentioned that in today's analysis that the economy, or at least no, I think I have mentioned that on Discord. I don't know anymore. But the thing is that many are not taking it into account, and that's why I don't want to compare the current situation with situation we had in the past. Because in my opinion, also as an economist, I think the current situation is completely different to all crises we had in the past. And many people are trying, maybe it's because it's, and I can understand that kind of disbelief. because it's really hard when you are born in a society with a stable economy, even if we have passed some crisis, and now you are getting this big crap friend of you, and you think, well, that's another crisis like we had in the past. It's not. It's completely different. And that's the big problem we have. And even I believe that crypto is the future. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I mean, just a guy from India said, hey, it's the first time you are saying something bullish on crypto. No, that's not true. I'm extremely bullish on crypto. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend 1 minute in crypto. I think that crypto is the key for the future economy, or we are in a transition to the economy transformation. What do you think is going to happen with the energy crisis? The energy crisis is going to change everything. It's not only the energy crisis, but it's part of it. The global economy is changing. It's a big disruption, and every disruption initiates a transition. It's a transformation. So something crucial is changing. So it will our economy. And in my opinion, and since last year, many of you, or at least those who are following me since last year, I'm announcing since last year that we will have a transformation of our economy where crypto is going to play a key role. And so I get and I can understand when the World Economic Forum is telling that they wish to change the Bitcoin code away from POW to POS. So I'm extremely bullish on crypto, but I have certain doubts related to Bitcoin. Not because Bitcoin is not useful, Bitcoin doesn't have any use case or whatever, just because I see the political agenda. And the political agenda is absolutely not bullish on Bitcoin. So it's not surprising me the whole pressure they did, for example, to push Ethereum much more to POS, to POS. And I think something has to happen also to Bitcoin. Sorry. I sometimes I need to read the comments. So just to make clear, I'm long term. I'm extremely bullish on crypto. It's the future, and many coins, many projects related to Bitcoin, to crypto, has huge business and use cases for such kind of economy and business transformations like we will see in the future. I'm not talking about 5 years, not even 10 years. So it's really long term. But every such kind of revolution crashed. Crypto didn't crash yet. It will crash. And 10K looks like crash, and I think that could be it. And I would expect such kind of crash for 2023 or 2024, just because as an economist, I'm expecting a collapse of our current systems, fiat systems, for example. Otherwise, you can't relaunch or launch a digital currency like they are planned by their central banks. And even the United Nations have mentioned that they have doubts that we can have such kind of peaceful transition from one system to another. It's not going to happen, in my opinion, and that will take a lot of stuff with it. Economy, crypto, equities, and so on and so forth. I'm absolutely convinced on it. So all-time high, all-time low, it's, as mentioned, it's not possible, but I think 10K for the next 24 months it's absolutely possible, and it's even part of my trade strategy, to be honest. So secondly, how low can BTC go? Well, as mentioned, I think between 10 and 12K. I mean, we are not that far away, right? We are right now trading at 20, 19. We were at 18. We can go to 16. But of course, I mean, many other big market actors involved in crypto doesn't have any interest yet to let the price crash. So they don't have any interest, for example, to let the price go below 16, for example, because that could trigger a sell-off. And that's something that, for example, exchanges don't want to have. And exchanges are playing a big, big role in crypto in general. Also because of liquidity. So yeah, 14K or even lower. Yes, absolutely. As mentioned, 10 to 12, that would be something I would expect. Falsche Antwort. Okay, that's a German guy. Kannst du noch mal bitte erklären, warum Fusion für dich so interessant ist? Vielen Dank. Okay, he is asking me because I'm a big fan of Fusion. Fusion is a token that's multi-operable. That means you can make transaction over different blockchains. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, it doesn't matter if it's Phantom, Ethereum, Quant, whatever. I mean, they are introducing more blockchains to the system. And even the European Union in one report mentioned Fusion because of that, because that's going to be the future also of the financial systems. The financial systems, our whole life, the digitalization will play a bigger role in our future life. So, of course, also crypto will play a bigger role on it. Nobody knows exactly because, you know, many other projects will be launched in the future. We don't know yet how the future in detail will look like. But we know that the whole commerce, for example, the e-commerce, will use different ecosystems. And that means you need then a project that will accept in a very flexible way different blockchains, like a bridge. And Fusion is one of the biggest in that role. Since 2018, operating since 2018, they did very big steps. We just have 80 million tokens, so the supply is really, really relatively tiny. I mean, we have 21 million Bitcoins, and we have even more Ethereum, almost 100 million Ethereum, but only 80 million Fusion. I like small supply tokens. Of course, it depends what kind of business or use case they have. But for me, it's really important to have such a project. And Fusion is extremely cheap, taking into account the use case, the business case, and at the same time, the supply. I mean, it costs 20 cents or 25 cents per token. And I have purchased a lot, even for 40 and 50 cents. And we had seen in the past month, I think that was in October, it was at $2, and I didn't sell because I believe in this project. I know I have invested a lot of time to check this project, and even Phoenicia, so the project I will launch with George, will have also one feature directly related to Fusion. I can't tell you what exactly, but I will tell you that, or at least when I'm going to release the roadmap, I will show you what we will do with Fusion. And another reason is that some academies, universities are involved in fusion as well. For example, one of where I have a big respect is the Technical University of Karlsruhe, that's in the south of Germany. And that's also something I really like. I know the CEO, DJ. I had some really interesting chats with him, and I appreciate him. He's a really smart guy. Also the founder of Qtum and VET, two other different crypto projects. And well, we'll see. So that's the main points why I like Fusion and why I'm not selling it, and I will accumulate even more Fusion in the future. And Fusion is, for example, also the main architecture behind Change. And Change is an application. Some of you know I have retweeted some informations about Change. That's like online banking on crypto. You can have all kind of assets in one app, on a decentralized way. So I like that very much. Falsche Antwort. Ich hoffe, du hast alles verstanden. Wenn nicht, würde ich sagen, einfach schreib mir kurz auf Twitter. Ich kann dir das auch nochmal schreiben, oder wir können uns auch gerne in meinen Discord kurz treffen und dann kann ich dir das auf Deutsch auch nochmal alles erklären, warum ich unbedingt oder warum ich selber sehr von Fusion angetan bin. Okay, let us go forward. Dimitri, hey Inspo, yeah. Can you show buy sell walls on ETH? Well, yeah, I can show you that. Okay, that's Ethereum BUSD, for example. That's not maybe what we are looking for, but we have ETH. Where are you? ETH-USDT. And yeah, it looks like they have enough space to the upside. 1581, for example, otherwise 1400 or 1349. At the moment, they are just pushing the price up. As you can see from here, 1466. They triggered the wall at 1450, and right now limiting the weight really close to the current price at 1480. So means we should from here just go down again, and it seems they want to trigger the next wall at 14. Something we need to see, of course. And yeah, also Bitcoin just making the front run, it seems. Right. So let us check the next one. Grande Inspo, siempre aquí, abrazo. Muchas gracias. Brasil, Río, calculo. So, Muslim, I love you, sir. You are the best. You are helping investors by giving the truth, fair data. Thank you very much, bro. Big love. Thank you very much. Hassan. Hi, Hassan. How are you doing, bro? Harsa, Inspo Crypto, can you please make one video on how to read the indicators that you use? On your videos, I sometimes don't understand what's happening because it's difficult to understand. I really want to learn. Well, first of all, it's not just the indicator. Those indicators are not really complicated, but you need to understand the market and the different assets. I had, for example, a very interesting chat on my Discord about futures, and I see the lack of knowledge. I mean, it's not wondering me. I'm spending a lot of time with all this stuff. And part of Phoenicia, we will launch two Phoenicias, Phoenicia Capital or Phoenicia Finance and Phoenicia Academy. And in the Phoenicia Academy, we will release a whole library of stuff. I will not only explain different indicators, I will also launch Inspo indicators. I have own indicators. that I want to release only for the community. So no one will have access to these indicators except he is going to join the community. And I will explain everything. George will bring a lot of knowledge, also related to option trading, volume profile, and so on and so forth. It's going to be like an academy, and you will get a certification for that academy. It's going to be a community-driven academy with DAO and so on and so forth. It's completely, we will live the crypto world. It's the main goal behind, but based on community. Community means family, means we help each other, we support each other, and so on and so forth. It's not everything about money. It's really to help each other and to create something big but also beautiful. And so the Phoenicia Academy is going to be the first step we are going to launch. And there you will see everything. You will have access to all indicators, and you will have enough time to spend in videos or text. It depends what you like to have. We will have PDF files where you can read as well, but otherwise we will have some videos and tests, so such kind of examinations where we will check your knowledge if you got what we are showing you. It takes a little bit more, so you need a little bit more patience at the moment. If you are looking, for example, to know what is weights ratio, for example, or some kind of indicators, then I just can tell you, go use the blog of CryptoQuant. They explain a lot. And that's the best way at the moment. Otherwise, we need to have a little bit more patience until we release the Phoenicia Academy. Okay? Phoenicia Finance will have a different part. I will tell about that much more later on. Rowan, why do you see mid-September as potential bearish dump moment? No, not really mid of September, but after the third week of September. First of all, the Fed is going to hike the interest rate, and after September, people will come back from vacations, so we are going back to normal under very crazy conditions, because on the other side, the OPEC Plus nations also just announced and mentioned they are going to reduce the production as well. So means inflation should rise again. And it seems, but that's something that some conflicts in Europe and the world could escalate. And in my opinion, that's going to have a big impact to all markets. Musmill, again, Jesus, you're tough. So, which coins will you accumulate in this bear market, and what are your buying price target? It's going to be very hard to tell you all that now in this video, because we just have 30 minutes. One of them is Fusion, Quant, Luxo, Coty, and Kayer, for example, Seller. Wow, I have several. I just buy, accumulate. Not big at all at the moment, to be honest. Really not. Mainly using futures to make quick gains. Even I think, and I have mentioned, I'm expecting in the next days, I hope 1 to 2 weeks, a huge pump. So yeah, but at the moment I'm not really huge accumulating, but that's everything that has very, in my opinion, an interesting use case that makes sense with the picture I have described before with the transformation of the economy. It's on my list to accumulate, and I will accumulate much more. For example, I bought Quant at it was almost $50 just a few months ago. I sold them, but I will buy them again and then accumulate. So accumulate then big, for example. But we have Atom, another one that's really, really, really big in my opinion, in the use case. So let us go forward. Hassan, I want to ask you about the meaning of CBD, aggregated CBD, and spot and margin contracts. Okay, well, the CBD is the cumulative volume delta. What is a volume delta? I show you what's a volume delta, and then hopefully you know what the cumulative volume delta is. Give me just a second. Where's my Epic pen? Here is my Epic pen. Okay. So if we take a look, that's the volume on my heat map. All of you can see that. And you have here a delta. Okay, that's this triangle here in math. That's the delta. It means the difference. We can also see here we have a total volume in this 1 hour candle of 2,500 bitcoins. We see here they bought 1,300 and they sold 1,200. So what's the difference between both? That's the delta. The delta is 100. So if this candle is 100, that's the volume delta. Okay, that's the VD. When the next candle has a volume delta of 30, we have another volume delta. That's 30. But the cumulative, so this both together, the CBD, in this case, is 130. It's really simple. Okay? So if the next candle is bearish and we make a volume delta of minus 50, for example, it means the cumulative volume delta is not 130 anymore. It's 130 minus 50. So it's 80. And so on and so forth. That's the cumulative volume delta. The aggregated CBD means aggregation. You have different exchanges combined, included. So the CBD on Binance is only the cumulative volume delta of, for example, BTC USDT spot. Spot means buy, sell Bitcoin, not future trading, not option trading, only tokens, buy, sell, that's spot. Derivative means every asset like futures, options. So the aggregated means there is Coinbase, Binance, Bitfinex. That's aggregation. That's what aggregated means. Aggregated on spot means they are just including different CBDs on spot from different exchanges, like mentioned, Coinbase, Binance, in one only count. Okay. And margin contracts are futures. You can go, for example, and short and long with stablecoins, and that's the most common way. So with stablecoin USDT, or like I'm doing on BitGet at the moment with USDC. But you have Bitcoin margin contracts. You can go and instead of stablecoins, you can use Bitcoins. If you want to short Bitcoin, you use as collateral, as margin, not stablecoins, you use Bitcoins. Of course, you need then these Bitcoins. You buy these Bitcoins and then you can short it, for example, or long it, whatever. That's it. So, Masmil. So, Warren Buffett said BTC has no usage. What is your view on that? Well, I mean, depends. If he thinks that Bitcoin isn't a currency, then he's right. But in my opinion, Bitcoin is a currency. So it has an usage. What is a currency? I mean, what is money? If we start to talk about the definition of money, what is money? Why is Bitcoin not money? That depends if the masses are using it. It's not necessarily declared. I mean, at the moment, the fiat system, the money system we have, is dictated by central banks and governments. But doesn't mean, for example, that if I give you 5 Bitcoins and you sell me your car for it, that Bitcoin is not money. Warren Buffett has one problem. He's too old to understand, or maybe he's not too old because he is really smart, but in my opinion, he is just too old to jump in, and that's what happened. And of course, he is maybe some people or some of those people, they celebrate the fiat system because they did then much richer than before. It's also something we should have in mind. So let us go forward. Barbos, okay, again in German. Hey, hoffe, ich kann hier meine Fragen auch auf Deutsch stellen. Könntest du mir eventuell Bücher empfehlen, die über das Thema TA geben? Wow, ich bin zwar kein TA-Experte, aber ja, schreib mir bitte auf Twitter oder wenn es geht sogar lieber auf Discord. He is asking me if I can make some recommendations of some books related to TA. Well, I'm maybe not the right person for TA because it's not really my specialization, but yeah, I have some books about TA, and I can send you some books about that, some names and so on. Außerdem frage ich mich, in welchem beruflichen Sektor du tätig bist, wenn du zu privat nicht antwortest. Nö, ich kann es dir sagen, ich bin Unternehmensberater. So he is asking me what I'm doing. Also ich berate Banken und grundsätzlich globale Unternehmen, aber hauptsächlich schon seit vielen Jahren spezialisiert auf den Banken- oder Finanzsektor. He is asking me if that's not too private, what I'm doing in my professional life. And many of you know I'm advising global companies since years, much more with a focus on the financial sector, private banking, federal banking. That's mainly what I'm doing. Masmel, sir, if fiat gonna collapse, then why DXY is pumping hard and why DXY make new all-time high? Why not? I mean, that's a process. I didn't say that the fiat system is going to collapse this year or next month. That's a process. I mean, the central banks and the governments know exactly, very well, that if the fiat system is going to collapse, everything is going to collapse. I mean, the whole life is going to change. Even our society will change. Rules will change. Everything will change. Because that's what always happened. After the French Revolution happened exactly the same. The problem is that the human don't like any big crucial changes. That's something that is much more related to the psychology. We feel fear when big things change. That's the big thing. And fear is for governments very useful because that brings the masses to what Naomi Klein, that's, for example, I like her. She wrote some very interesting books. She mentioned as the shock doctrine. And that's a shock moment that we have. So it's when something crucial happens, we are paralyzed. And that's the best matter to make policy if you want to change some big laws, for example, whatever. I mean, that happens. It's not a theory. That happens in the past. And yeah, I mean, the fiat system is reaching its end. I mean, what is the difference? I mean, the fiat system is, it's crazy that I'm saying that now, but it's like a Ponzi system. You need automatically to grow so that this system keeps working on a healthy way. But if you have any kind of disruption, and usually central banks are the main architects to maintain this monetary system, then they have some tools to suck capital, okay, to reduce the supply and to maintain. That's possible if the system maintains in a certain way very stabilized, something that we are far away from that. Just because we printed a lot of money, we did a lot of debts, and so on and so forth. So the system is going to crash anyway. We can delay it or we can accelerate it. That's the only way. So we just have two options here. And I mean, it's crazy that I'm saying that because I'm not a big enemy of the fiat system. But I think the fiat system is going to crash because of mismanagement. So let us go forward and at Zoom. Hey, bro. Hello, sir. How do you think the EU can turn this around for energy crisis? And do you think the energy crisis is already priced into the markets? Happy Saturday. Thank you very much, bro. Well, first of all, the EU can't do anything, absolutely anything, against the energy crisis because they are doing everything to accelerate it. So, as just tweeted 1 hour ago, the energy prices are exploding in Germany. And the whole system, I was talking with a guy and I think it was a German guy. We had a very interesting chat. I mean, with different opinions. It was a little bit a slightly discussion. He said, well, the former government, the German government with Merkel as leader, was the big problem in Germany because they just have addicted us much more to the Russian energy. And that's wrong. The whole German economy was built on cheap energy. And that's something we need to understand. The whole European, even in France, the whole European economy, the main driver was cheap energy, mainly from Russia. So if the price of energy, even if we start to buy energy from the US and Canada for a lot of more money, of course, but at least we can say, okay, we can heat their house then, at least. In a global stage, the German industry will never ever try to compare to the prices of China, India, or different other countries. Every country, even from Russia, every country with a cheap energy price will be the leader in the future. So I'm sorry to say that. It's game over for the EU. At least the current industry structure we have, it's done. It's absolutely done. Unfortunately. And I was extremely bullish on the German industry and economy. But in my opinion, I don't want to talk about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, because I don't care about the governments. I just care about the people. And I like the Russians like I like the Ukrainians. But this problem has triggered a big chain reaction in Europe. And our governments did everything to push and to accelerate what I would call a transformation of the economy. They will crash our economy, just to be honest. I tell you that. You will not recognize Europe in a few years. You will not. It's over. It's really over. So, no, I don't think that this energy crisis is already priced into the markets. At least not in DAX and some European indices. No, it's not. And it's going to be very tough for us, but because we see the conditions of the EU. If even the German government has to sell German bonds, government bonds, to buy Italian government bonds so that the European Union doesn't collapse, while the ECB is going to raise rates, you know everything. It's extremely sensitive. We just need a little bit more, and the whole system starts to crash in the European Union. That's unfortunately the current conditions. So, let us go forward. Danke für alles. Sehr gerne, falsche Antwort. Hi, regarding the current large long-short ratio on BTC USD, could it be the Kingfisher doesn't display OE? Yes, it's really possible, because I don't get how it's possible that this volume doesn't appear on the Kingfisher. That's something or they are just taking into account the last 24 hours, for example. Then it would make sense. But in my opinion, it doesn't make sense just to use the last 24 hours. And if they are using only the last 24 hours, then mention that. But when I'm checking Blockchain Whispers, and Blockchain Whispers is extremely accurate, because they are taking long-short ratio directly from the Binance API, so from the Binance website, and they are multiplicating it with the open interest. That's the only way, just to show what Blockchain Whispers is showing you. So, no gaps between Binance and Blockchain Whispers. It's one-to-one what Binance is providing. But the Kingfisher has gaps between what I see on Blockchain Whispers and the Kingfisher, and that's something I don't get. Until yet, I don't get it. Perhaps we still have some active longs with an entry price above 30k that keep providing more and more collateral to keep their positions open. What's your opinion on that? Well, as mentioned, last year Bitfinex did exactly the same. You can research my tweets about that from last year. They had longs at 40k, and they, just to maintain them alive, they added funds, and that's one reason why we also pushed very hard to the upside, because I think they were very close to, just to collapse, just to get liquidated. And I think they are doing exactly the same. We are talking about huge amount of money, and if they are getting liquidated, run. But I think it's possible to maintain them alive, because I think we will see in the next few weeks, not a bull run, not even close to a bull run, but again, such a big fake rally. So, Masmil again. Sir, accounting to previous bear market, bear market, previous bear market, patterns. BTC showed BTC bottom this year, but you are saying BTC will bottom in 2023. So why you are giving gap of so much month? Please explain in detail. Because, you know, this market is not an isolated island. This market works with capital. And as mentioned, capital is controlled by central banks, governments, and the whole economy as itself, because we have also circulating US dollars, for example, and some are coming to crypto and then sucking them again, and so on and so forth. So taking into account what the next month are going to show us, and not only the next month until end of the year, 2023 is, in my opinion, at least the last half of 2023 is going to be a bigger challenge than 2022. And some brilliant economists out there are confirming that. And 2024 is going to be a disaster. Just because of everything what's happening today and in the last month with inflation, with everything I have mentioned and described already. It takes time until it has an impact, and it shows you the impact. So also the labor market. You will see in few months the unemployment rate will rise. And it will not stop. It will rise more and more. And with a higher unemployment, even the last bull in disbelief will recognize this ship is sinking. And what do you think is going to happen then? But at the moment, everything is fine. We can build our own narratives and tell people, we can tell labor market is strong, economy looks extremely strong. Yeah. Let us see how it looks like after the midterm election in the US. So everything, when I'm making such statements, I'm taking into account a lot of different data as well, not only just based on metrics and, market data. Many other things that have an effect to the markets. So you will see that this year we still have enough time to make an exit rally. Afterwards, it's going to be really hard, really, really hard, because then it will be obvious that the end is coming. I mean, I don't want to be the guy that tells you, Jesus, the ship is sinking. I don't want to be the messenger. I just can tell you what I see. And the data is looking horrible. I don't see how to fix the problems because, over decades we have built a global economy that's now crashing. We have a big disruption. We have spent billions and trillions to build plants in China, to build our parts and supply stuff very cheap there because some companies said, oh, my workers are too expensive in my own country. And now we have on geopolitical stage everywhere conflicts. That means forget China, forget Russia, forget Iran, forget India, just to give you an example, the German minister just said that they are only buying energy from country members of the NATO. I mean, they are selling and telling you everything with such a sentence. The conflict is coming. We don't trust anyone except he is member of the NATO. Okay. I mean, come on. He is really telling you everything then. So, let us go forward. Oh, Jesus. 50 minutes already. Silvio, following you on Twitter and would love to join you in a geopolitical discussion. Ever thought about it? Silvio, you're welcome. just DM me. AI. Second question regarding empty gogs. There's some rumor going on regarding the possible dumps to Twitter. I know, yeah, but I know at least from some followers I trust in, and at least one I know he is directly involved in a refund. They didn't get any information about that, so the refund is not going to happen yet. It's this tweet I have retweeted today with a question if someone can confirm was relating a former tweet from 2 months ago indicating that August 28th would be the date where MTGOX is going to refund the bitcoins, but it seems they are delaying it. Bill Yurks, wow, educational content. Must people won't bother explaining. Thanks, man. Yeah, you're welcome. That's Inspo. Har Sahib. Sorry, bros, when I'm sometimes, I think I need some glasses. Can we get these indicators on TradingView or any alternate indicators with similar data? As I know, only CryptoQuant is using them, but yes, I will take a look. I will also use different data providers in future, because for Phoenicia, I just want to diversify a little bit. I don't want just one provider in case of. I don't like CoinGlass. I'm sorry for all of you who are using CoinGlass. I don't like CoinGlass. I don't think they are bad, but I don't like it. I will mention more about that in the next coming days. But however, all my CryptoQuant setups and charts are for free and available for you. Even I think if you are not subscriber, you need to check that. Last question. Many indicators such as NUPL, hash ribbons, reverse risk are flushing by BTC. Their reading are extreme. Should BTC drop permanently below 70k? Yes, I know. I have just... The problem of indicators are I would say most of them they are using historical data, meaning all patterns and all bear markets and all bull cycles are the same, and that's wrong in my opinion. It's wrong for crypto. That might work for equities, for example, because they are so... But this market is changing. Market is changing, for example, in market actors. Institutionals are coming and going. BlackRock. What do you think? Even if the X has changed in trade behavior, just quick accumulating to dump afterwards, that's institutional stamp. It's really hard. I know hash ribbons are really accurate, but as mentioned just before, I don't expect that. But even option traders are now expecting even a dump hitting below 19k or even below 18k. So it doesn't mean it's not going to work. Yeah, to be honest, we could end of next week, we could be at 18k. I'm not expecting it at the moment. But if something changed in the metrics, I will confirm that. Then we will have enough time to react. But at the moment, I would say we are very close to the local bottom and we will go up again. Weekends are really, I don't care about the weekends. But next week, even SPX and SPY keeps looking bearish, and I think they will go up. They will retrace just a little bit to go more down, but that will give Bitcoin enough time to go up. And I mean, we are making steps in weeks. In weeks. Just check the chart, what we have done since our visit at 17.7. So it will take weeks again. And yeah, I'm not saying we can't retest our area of 17.7. I never have said that. I just said I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't think it's going to happen now in the next few days or maybe 1 to 2 weeks. Even some option traders are expecting that right now. So let us go forward. Most of these indicators will show out of scale reading, implying that they are obsolete. What value do you assign to such indicators? Well, as mentioned, very limited one. Really very limited one. That was why I wasn't a really fan of Plan Bs. Plan Bs, for example, how is his model? Stock to flow? No, I don't know, but his main model. And I had a discussion with him, and I just told him, just to make such a model, this from intellectual view, it's really interesting. But as an economist, taking into account that this market is not mature, so it's not old. It doesn't have a fixed structure. It's changing. It's growing. And he blocked me because of that. But, well, unfortunately, I was right. He was wrong. It's my pleasure. Masmil. Okay, but then we need to end this. If the fiat system gonna collapse, then where should we do investment to keep your investment safe and well, that's the big question, right? I just can tell you my opinion. Watches, gold, platinum, silver, extremely interesting, just because it has also a usage for the tech industry. Rare earth, so commodities, oil, and crypto long term, but only long term. In my opinion, only long term. That's something, you need to decide if you want to go this way or not. But it's my way. I never went all in crypto. I never go all in one asset. So yeah, and I see, for example, watches did for the last few years not big changes, but just in 6 months 30%. That's really huge for watches, because some of them are really expensive. It's, you need to see your own formula, but if the whole system is going to collapse, you need something to exchange. That's the thing. I want to say thank you. I love your Twitter and YouTube videos. It will grow huge, no doubt, but it takes some time to get the recognition you obviously deserve. Thank you, Everything takes time, and patience is the key as always. Just work hard, and I mean, as mentioned, for me, that's my virtual family. I mean, I'm providing just stuff because I want that you see how this market works and what factors and parameters are important in this market to see the tendency and what the market can do next. Because I think in the future, and I'm not talking about the next 3, 4, 5 years, I think all of us will be pioneers in the next 10, 15 years. And 30 years, people will say, what? You were on crypto in 2022? Oh, Jesus, you have to be billionaire. Because that's what happened when you are now talking to people that bought Apple stocks, Microsoft stocks in the 90s. And it's going to happen exactly the same, because unfortunately the history repeats itself. That's why I'm extremely bullish on crypto. And even if we go down, it doesn't matter. Long term, just think long term. Don't go all in. Don't go and mortgage your house or sell your house like Michael Saylor told to people to sell everything and to invest all in Bitcoin. In my opinion, that's, it's dumb to say something like this. But take a part of your money and invest that. Take your time, make research, check the project itself, and forget that you own that. In 10 years, you will say, wow, Inspo was extremely right, because I know I'm right. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend 1 second in this industry. So, you're my angel, bro. Thank you, Bismajid. Thank you, bro. Masmel, so how's your mining going? Very well. Every few days, getting just a message that I got Doggy and Litecoin. So everything fine. Let me see. Please start videos on mining too. We need to learn mining, please, sir. Wow, that's crazy. Just follow. Do you know how I started to mine? Because of Fosk. Foscoin, you guys maybe know him. Foscoin, Andrew Fosk. I love this guy. I really love. He is the master in mining. He is, my opinion, the big idol. I have bought his limited edition Foscoin doggy miner. That's a mini one. I love that. It's quiet. It's and it's working all the time, 24/7. And I don't know how many doggies I have, because I really never check that. But it's running since month, and it's great. It's really great. So Foscoin, if you are really interested, because he explained a lot of things, he is in particular really focused on mining. Just check him. He is testing miners, and he is making a huge work. I'm since 2020 I'm following him, or 2021, early 2021, and he did huge steps since then. I really like Andrew. So let us go forward. And the last few questions, I need to check Discord as well. Hi Inspo, thank you for all your work. Do you think rising rates and keeping them high is sustainable of the US EU, knowing that debt GDP ratio is very high? No. That's Adrian. That's exactly the right question what you are doing, and that's exactly the big problem. And that's why I say, just check the reduce of the balance sheet of the Fed. Just check that. They didn't reduce it that big. They even increased by billions. Because they know exactly that the whole market is not like the politicians are telling us. It's strong. If it's strong, wow, we can reduce the balance sheet every month by 30 billions. It's not going to work, because the economy is not that strong. And that's the problem. And yes, you are absolutely right. And we know what happened after 1927, after Volcker raised the interest rate very high. And it's going to happen again, but it's part of the agenda. And that's something we need to have in mind. That's why I'm repeating this information and telling you that you should be very careful. Not now, not only about crypto, in general in the next few years. But yes, smart question. And no, it's different to 70s. It's really different to 70s, because in the 70s we didn't have the global economy like we have now. The global, our national economy depends of a global system that has to work. Now it's not working, and it's not going to work in the future anymore, not like it did. So the whole disruption, the US had one problem. If you like Donald Trump or not, it doesn't matter. But he said one thing. We are bringing back our industry to the US. And I was expecting that the EU, that Germany, France, Spain, and so on would say exactly the same. We are going to bring our industry back at home. Because that was the clever decision to make to prevent the current situation. They didn't. Instead, the European governments, they started to blame Donald Trump for that. They said everything is fine. With China, everything is fine. Now the German government is reducing the collaboration with China government because of the geopolitical problems we have with a potential conflict over Taiwan. Now that's the consequence. Short-term politics. That's the big problem. And Donald Trump, if you like it or not, he was the only one mentioning it. Really. As an economist, I was just saying, wow. Now, if you say, oh, I don't like Donald Trump, okay, no problem with that. Then invest some time and read Joseph Stiglitz. That's one of the most brilliant economists on the global stage, in my opinion. He is from the US. I like him very much. And he has published enough books about why we should have less globalization, or at least a very well-controlled one. Nobody controlled the globalization. Everything was fine. Everything was, hey, I want to build my plant in China and close in Germany. And they celebrated it. Oh, nice! You will make a lot more money. Yes. As long everything works fine, as long the global machine works perfect. But now we have a disruption, and now? What we will do now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And politicians, they don't fix these problems like an economist or like everyone else will do. They use rhetoric. The economy is strong. The labor market looks great. Nobody is asking if these guys that got new jobs are making enough money to pay their flat, the school for their child, the healthcare system, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter, because on this statistic, the labor market looks great. That's what politicians do. Pure marketing. So let us go forward and bring that to an end. Bro, love from India and love back to India. I love you guys. And Joker, always love your macro market analysis based on geopoliticals and global economy. Really useful info. What do you think will happen after system collapse with crypto or any system that will take its place? It will grow. Mass adoption will be part of a new system where CBDs will be also part of our current system. It will replace the fiat system. The IBS, so the central bank of the central banks, has mentioned and has also showed a roadmap how CBD should look like. And crypto is part of it. That's it. That's really it. Of course, CBDs will have advantage and disadvantage. I would recommend you to check the CBDs in detail. the advantages, but also mostly the disadvantages as a retailer. If you're a billionaire, it looks different. Joker, like gold standard maybe? Yes. I mean, Russia did the first step. And the most interesting part is I'm tracking the gold reserves of different nations since years. And I published, now this webpage doesn't exist anymore, but I have published different articles, macroeconomic, but also geopolitical articles about gold, oil, and so on and so forth. And Russia was one of the biggest gold buyer on global stage, even more than China, even more than India. And I remember, and it was very interesting when Donald Trump was in power. Again, Donald Trump. I don't like him as a person, but I really was a fan of his what he had in mind. I think he had the right advisors on very close to him. And I remember that in Florida, senators did a request about, and I have a copy of that still, about how to couple gold, so bring the gold standard after the 70s, after Nixon, back to the US dollar. To survive, to let survive the US dollar as a strong global currency. And even the person, the actor that Donald Trump announced for the Fed, I don't remember her name now. The main plan was even to bring the gold standard to the digital USD. And I mean, that's the path that Russia is doing right now. And even China is now thinking about that. So I think the gold standard is coming back. And it makes sense also for central banks, because they need to neutralize their debts. So we can have a collapse of the fiat system, the Great Reset. So just, crash everything and start from zero. That's one potential option. And the last one, but it seems like the current politicians don't, at least on the West nations, don't want to hear, except some Republicans in the US and some oppositionals in Europe, is to bring the gold standard. Because they can, with their gold reserves, with a new valuation of the gold, and that's why I'm accumulating gold as well, because if the central banks are going to re-evaluate their gold reserves, that means that even if the market is showing you the gold cost $1,700, it can go from 1 month to other to 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. That's a re-evaluation of the central bank gold reserves to cover and to neutralize their debts. It's one different option. And that was actually what Trump wanted to do. That's what Putin is saying. The fiat system has failed. And that's why, since years, he is accumulating gold. Now India, China is buying a lot of gold. And we will see what's going to happen in the US. If the Republicans win, I don't know if Trump can win in the US, but that can bring this idea back on the table. If that's the case, it's extremely bullish on gold. But be careful, because in the history, when that happens, it also have a bad side of the whole thing. Because the government can forbid to hold gold for private households. That's another part, and happened in the history already. So Yeah, thank you so much for answering my all question in detail. Mosmel Hossein, it's my pleasure. So guys, let me check. I mean, after 45 minutes, I would like to check if I have some questions also on Discord. And I see I don't have any questions on Discord. It seems I don't have any questions on Discord. Let me check. I have here chat. Um. Ben Alstein, bro. He is saying something really, really interesting. And do you know what, Ben? I would like to take this opportunity for the next stream, if you are available, and to bring you live on stage to explain us that with a little presentation, if it's okay for you. Okay, he is saying yes. That's perfect, because he is saying, Inspo, I can explain Kingfisher for the community. I have worked closely with these guys, and I would say that's incredibly useful also for me, but also for the whole community. And Ben, thank you very much. That's community spirit, exactly what I like to see. So thank you very much, bro. Big love, and for your support. So that's it for today, I would say. Thank you very much. Adrian is on the other side, price manipulation on gold to keep it low. Why doing that to allow opponents to cheap gold? Well, I mean, first of all, we need to see who is one of the biggest gold producers. And to maintain the gold price down is also to make it very attractive. You are right, it makes it attractive to buy, but on the other side, it makes it not really attractive to bring new mines, so new miners on stage, of course. So to artificially to maintain this industry tiny. So, for example, if you have found gold, but the gold price is low, you have to make some investment to produce this gold. It's not just to find gold and that's it, and you can sell the gold that you have find. You have to refine this gold. That costs. You need your machines. That's very expensive. So to maintain the current price low makes sense if you are partly owners of the current miners. If you check JP Morgan and you check how many stocks they own by certain gold miners, you will know why they're manipulating the price. That's the other side, unfortunately, because otherwise the gold price would go up. But yes, you're right. The gold price is very manipulated. Even the silver and food and gas and crypto. So tell me what is not manipulated at the moment. But yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, that's, yeah, you have the supplier and the demander. For the demander is, of course, a cheap price, very good. But if they want to maintain the supply side very tiny, then it makes sense to keep the price low so that to open new sources, it's not attractive enough. Okay, guys, I think that's it. It was much longer than expected, but as I'm in vacation, I don't care, to be honest. So I look forward to see you all, guys, from Monday on. You know, Sunday, it's my absolutely free day. And I would love to see you all next week again. And of course, Saturday with a Q&A. Big love, your Inspo. And really, enjoy your life. Don't spend all the time in front of the screens and checking your charts. Really not. Money is not all. Big love. See you soon. Your Inspo.